Good morning. Welcome back. This is my second official YouTube video, and I was just thinking how it took me so long to come here and to finally try to utilize social media platforms. I've been a skeptic, for quite some time, and I think it's because I really try to get into the here and now. So I decided to kind of talk about what does that mean? What do I mean by being in the here and now? Uh, I noticed that people often stare at their watch. We all, of course, have things to do. We're all quite busy, but you know, how often do we really settle down and stay in the present moment? Why are we always worried about rushing off to something else? Yesterday, I was with a colleague of mine, and we were talking about a meeting. And basically, it was his meeting, okay? So he basically had to get ready to attend a conference. And he looked a bit troubled. He looked a little tired. And I noticed that he would, check his watch, or he might, you know, indicate that there was going to be a lot of work that needed to be covered, during this particular conference. And I asked him, I said, well, well, how do you feel about the conference overall? Is it something that has to take place? What are you guys really meeting about? And he said, you know what? The conference is probably going to be quite boring. And I thought about that. And so, I went a little further and I asked, okay, well, you obviously don't want to really be at the conference, and so if you didn't have to attend the conference, where would you be? And in just like a second, he said, you know what? I would love to just be on a beach with nothing to do, no place to be, and just relax. And I thought that's quite interesting. And I told him something. I admitted something right then and there. I said, you know what? At this moment, I only want to be right here having this exchange between me and you. We work well together, we do business, and I enjoy it very much. And, he was kind of taken aback for a second. He thought, hmm. And you see, this is the point. My colleague is actually someone who I also consider who's who's also a client. Let's also say that. But as far as I'm concerned, we have an eye to eye relationship. And I think it's important that how we spend our time matters. I never like the phrase, for example, thank God it's Friday. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we have to put off having a good time and enjoying ourselves to some other point in the nearby future. Um, nah, to me, every day should be ideally one that you enjoy, one that you relish, and you spend time in the company of people that you want to be around. And I often think that this is the trade off when it comes to quote unquote doing business, going to work. And I was in a cafe. And so when I mean business, please, this is a very flexible term. As far as I'm concerned, you can be any place. You can be at the park, you can be at a library, you can be on a train someplace, and you can get business done. A lot of people go and play golf, and they get business done, and they're doing something that they enjoy. They're staying fit, and oh yeah, and handling their business. So um, I often notice that when people are not in the here and now, they're not able to really focus and concentrate on whatever they're doing. That's why me personally, like I don't even wear a watch. I want to engage myself in activities that I can just sort of lose track lose track of time with. I don't really want to have to think about my next activity, my next appointment. I'll get there. I'll get there. But it's a shame that we trade in what matters to us in order to make a particular business transaction happen. And of course, you can't like every activity that you do. That's not what I'm saying. But I do notice that more and more, people do pay attention to the time. They pay attention. They stare. I hate watches and I hate big clocks. You know what I mean? I hate really, really big clocks on the wall. You're in the middle of something, you're having a conversation, and somebody stares up and they look at the clock like, yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's still there. In fact, can we get rid of it? Can we remove the clock off the wall? Can we like get rid of it, please? What is that about? Why are we constantly thinking about time? Why are we constantly, you know, keeping ourselves busy with activities that we might not normally do anyway, unless it was for money and paper. So that tells me something, about my colleague. He too wants to go off and relax like most of us. He too wants to have more me time, more personal time. And people often think that if you want to, do something for yourself, and if you're not, working hard, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to get everything, you must be lazy. You must be somebody that doesn't want to contribute to society and so forth. And I just think that it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a narrative that's been put out there for working class people to obey. Because, you know, as technology evolves, the robots are going to take our jobs. Best believe it. They're going to be having their own meetings. You're going to try to book a conference room, and all the robots are going to be in the conference room talking about what to do with the human beings. What are we going to do, right? Remember the movie Animatrix, right? Um, but no, for real, for real. What I really, my takeaway from this particular conversation with my colleague was that I truly feel fortunate and blessed even to know, at that moment, I absolutely knew that that's where I wanted to be. And usually it's like that with most people I work with or do business with, you know. Whether I'm with a client or whether I'm with a friend, in my opinion, they should in theory be one and the same. You shouldn't be spending time with anybody that you wouldn't want to have a beer with or share a cup of coffee with. That person's values, that person's ethics should matter enough that when they say something, you're not, just wondering, are they trying to use their leverage in a way to, manipulate the transaction so they make, you know, the outcome of the business transaction ends up being far more in their favor than yours, because that's how capitalism works. That's how business works in general, and you already know that. But we should be doing business, and we should be also having a good time and enjoying ourselves. And that's something to think about. Can you just be in the here and now? Do you separate also your leisure time from your work? Because that's again another way we've been programmed. You know, I remember watching the movie Crush Groove in 1985. Right, I'm a major hip hopper, and I remember, Run DMC, Sheila E, and the Fat Boys, all of these like amazing big time golden age rap artists. They were working day jobs at the local car wash. Jam Master Jay, rest in peace, Run DMC. They were all at the car wash. And like I think the Rocksteady crew might have worked there too, New York City Breakers, I'm not sure, but they were like, break dancing, windmilling, you know, right there at their job. They didn't separate the two. As far as these guys were concerned, work and play were one and the same. And if you can somehow find a way to make your work and play one and the same, you can stay in the here and now. You don't have to wait to go on vacation, before you enjoy your life. You don't need permission. You don't have to take days off from work just so you can enjoy your life. And I think a lot of us are kind of waiting and putting things that we want to really do on hold in favor of business, in favor of work, in favor of a job, and so forth. And I'm sure you've thought about that before. You know, it's complicated. You know, I know when you think about how you divide your time up, you have to plan it precisely. I'm sure you sit back and you take out your planner, you take out your calendar, and you have to plan accordingly. And I respect that. Um, but just make sure that you try to engage in activities that you know bring you a sense of well-being, so you're not bored. And if you are organizing meetings, you know, make sure that you guys are doing something fun, and so people just don't just take everything so seriously. You know, that's why we're taught. We're taught to take things seriously. We're taught to take ourselves seriously. We're taught that we have to stay on the go. We have to show everybody that we're important, that we have things to do. I see. You know, you already know that. So anyway, listen. I just wanted to go ahead and make my second official YouTube video. Please excuse the crazy quality. It's whacked. I know. I'm probably gonna have to eventually, you know, upgrade my technology game and use more sophisticated equipment, buy a real camera instead of recording off of my laptop. But just bear with me. I appreciate your patience, and if you definitely took the time to look at my second video, you don't know me from Adam. I really appreciate you giving me a chance to speak with you. Okay, take care, and you know, peace out. I'm out. Bye bye.